When it comes to rap beef, names carry weight, and this time the spotlight is burning hot. Lul Timm stepped into dangerous territory, sending what fans believe are bold shots toward Chief Keef and the legacy tied to O'Block. Social media didn't just react, it exploded. Timelines flooded with screenshots, reactions, and theories within minutes. Chief Keef isn't just another rapper, he's a symbol of drill culture, a pioneer who helped shape a whole era. O'Block carries its own reputation, stamped deep in hip-hop history. So when Lul Timm's words started circulating, fans immediately questioned the motive. Was it clout? Was it personal? Or was it deeper than rap? The streets and the internet move fast, but respect moves even faster. Some fans are calling it bold. Others are calling it reckless. Meanwhile, supporters on both sides are drawing lines in the sand, turning comment sections into battlegrounds. In today's rap game, one statement can shift alliances, spark diss tracks, or reignite old tensions. If this escalates, it won't just be music, it'll be legacy versus ambition. Now the real question is, will Chief Keef respond, or is silence the loudest move of all? This might just be the beginning. This might just be the beginning. Because when you mention names like Chief Keef and O'Block, you're not just talking about rap, you're talking about history, influence, and a culture that reshaped modern hip-hop. And now, with Lul Timm stepping into the conversation, the temperature just went up 10 levels. The internet caught wind of it almost instantly. A clip here, a caption there, and suddenly fans were dissecting every word, every tone, every possible subliminal. In today's era, you don't need a full diss track to spark chaos. Sometimes all it takes is a few lines, a look, or a carefully chosen phrase. And whatever Lul Timm meant, people felt it. Chief Keef's name carries weight for a reason. He didn't just participate in the drill movement, he helped define it. From early viral hits to influencing a generation of artists across the country, his impact is stamped into the foundation of modern street rap. O'Block, tied deeply to that legacy, represents more than a location. It represents a chapter of Chicago's hip-hop evolution that the world watched unfold in real time. So when Lul Timm's words started circulating, the reaction wasn't mild curiosity, it was shock. Some fans believe this is calculated. In rap, controversy can be currency. Calling out a major name guarantees attention. Streams rise. Platforms grow. Algorithms reward tension. But others think this might be personal, something deeper than music, something rooted in pride and respect. And that's where things get serious. Rap beef has always been part of hip-hop culture. From legendary rivalries that produced classic diss tracks to social media spats that fizzled out in weeks, the line between competition and escalation has always been thin. The difference now? Everything happens in real time. Millions of eyes watching. Millions of opinions forming instantly. Supporters of Chief Keef were quick to defend him. They flooded comment sections reminding everyone of his influence, his longevity, and the fact that he's already cemented in the game. You can't challenge a pioneer, some wrote. Others warned that stepping into that arena comes with consequences, musically and reputationally. Meanwhile, Lul Timm's supporters praised the boldness. They see it as fearless energy, a new generation unafraid to test the old guard. In hip-hop, ambition is often loud. Sometimes respect is earned by challenging giants. But here's the reality, legacy doesn't crumble easily. Chief Keef has seen waves come and go. Trends shift. Artists rise and fall. Through it all, his name remains relevant. That's not accidental, that's influence. And when you target influence, you better be prepared for the response. The big question now is whether there will even be a response. Silence can be powerful. In some cases, it sends a message that the situation isn't worth acknowledging. But in other cases, silence can build suspense, the calm before something explosive. Fans are refreshing timelines, watching for posts, waiting for a snippet, a tweet, a move. And the industry is watching too. Because moments like this can shift momentum. A diss track could spark one of the biggest back and forths of the year. Or it could fade into background noise if no one engages. In modern hip-hop, attention spans are short, but drama travels fast. What makes this situation different is the symbolism attached to it. O-Block isn't just a name you casually throw into conversation. It carries stories, headlines, music history, and emotional weight for many fans. Bringing it into any narrative instantly amplifies intensity. There's also the generational angle. Hip-hop constantly evolves. New voices challenge established legends. That tension is natural. Every era faces a moment where rising artists test the boundaries set by those who came before them. Sometimes it results in collaboration. Sometimes it results in lyrical warfare. Right now, it feels like we're standing at the edge of one of those crossroads. Is this simply competitive energy? Or is this the spark that lights a bigger fire? Fans are divided. Some want bars, pure lyrical combat, beats and verses settling the debate the way hip-hop traditionally does. Others worry about how quickly things can escalate beyond music in today's climate. Social media amplifies emotions. Pride gets involved. Narratives spin out of control. And in the middle of it all are two names trending for very different reasons. For Chief Keef, this is about legacy protection. For Lul Timm, it could be about proving something, about stepping into a larger spotlight and demanding recognition. In rap, moments like these can define careers. History shows that some of the most iconic hip-hop chapters were born from tension. Competition pushes artists to sharpen their craft. It forces creativity. It raises stakes. But it also tests maturity. If this turns into music, fans could witness something unforgettable. If it turns into silence, the speculation might slowly fade. But right now, the energy feels charged. Because once words are out there, they don't disappear. Screenshots live forever. Clips circulate endlessly. Narratives grow legs of their own. Even if intentions were misunderstood, perception often outweighs clarification in the court of public opinion. And perception right now? It says lines have been drawn. The coming days will reveal everything. Will there be a track? A response post? A public statement? Or will this moment dissolve into the fast-moving stream of internet drama? One thing is certain, the culture is watching. Hip-hop thrives on moments like this. The unpredictability, the tension, the possibility of either greatness or chaos. And as fans debate, repost, and speculate, one truth stands clear. This isn't just noise. It's a moment that could either redefine a narrative or remind everyone exactly why certain names carry weight in the first place. Because once a situation like this reaches a certain level of visibility, it stops being just about two names. It becomes about momentum. If Lul Timm meant exactly what fans think he meant, then he understands the gravity of stepping into this arena. Calling out, or even appearing to challenge, someone with Chief Keef's legacy isn't a small move. It's chess, not checkers. In rap, timing is everything. And sometimes controversy is used as a spotlight. But the spotlight burns hot. Chief Keef has never been known to move recklessly online. Throughout his career, he's often taken the route of distance, letting music speak when necessary, and silence speak even louder when it benefits him. That unpredictability is part of what makes this situation tense. Because nobody knows if there will be an immediate response, or a delayed one that hits twice as hard. And then there's O-Block, a name that carries weight far beyond music headlines. When fans hear it, they don't just think about rap. They think about history, about stories that shaped drill culture, about moments that defined an era in Chicago's music scene. That's why even indirect references spark intense reactions. The new generation of rap artists grew up watching pioneers build these legacies. Some approach them with respect. Others approach them as competition. Hip-hop has always been built on proving yourself, on earning your stripes. But proving yourself against established legends comes with risks. This is where strategy matters. Does Lul Timm double down? Does he clarify? Does he drop a track that makes his position undeniable? Or does he let speculation do the heavy lifting while streams climb and his name trends across platforms? Because make no mistake, in 2026, virality is currency. Moments like this can change an artist's trajectory overnight. A single diss track can create career-defining buzz. A clever rollout can turn tension into opportunity. But if handled poorly, the same moment can fade just as quickly as it arrived. Meanwhile, fans are split into camps. One side argues that legends deserve respect, that you don't test someone whose influence built the lane you're walking in. The other side believes hip-hop is about fearlessness, that every generation has the right to challenge the previous one. That friction is part of what keeps the culture alive. But here's what makes this different. The stakes feel bigger than entertainment. In today's digital era, rap beef doesn't live only in the booth. It lives in tweets, live streams, podcast discussions, and viral clips. It spreads faster than ever before. And with that speed comes unpredictability. Industry insiders are likely watching quietly. Labels understand how these moments can boost engagement. Media outlets understand how quickly narratives can spiral. And artists understand that one calculated move can either elevate or damage their standing. There's also the psychological layer. When an artist with something to prove challenges an established name, it sends a message: I'm not afraid. That boldness can attract supporters who admire confidence. But it can also invite scrutiny. Every lyric, every move, every interview becomes analyzed under a microscope. For Chief Keef, this might simply be background noise. He's survived waves of controversy before. He's watched the game evolve around him. Longevity in hip-hop isn't accidental. It's earned through adaptation and resilience. If he responds, it could reshape the conversation instantly. A subtle bar in a new song, a cryptic post, or even a direct statement that shuts speculation down. But if he stays silent, that silence might speak volumes. And then there's the audience factor. Fans today are more involved than ever. They don't just consume content, they interpret it, remix it, amplify it. Reaction channels dissect every syllable. Comment sections become battlegrounds of opinion. The culture becomes participatory. Right now, anticipation is the loudest sound in the room. Will this turn into a lyrical showdown? A social media back and forth? Or will it dissolve into one of those moments that felt explosive, but never fully ignited? The difference between hype and history is execution. Some beefs create timeless records. Others become footnotes. The outcome depends on what happens next. And if Lul Timm truly intends to challenge the narrative, he'll need more than bold energy. He'll need bars, strategy, precision. Because when you step into a space occupied by someone whose influence spans over a decade, the margin for error shrinks. At the same time, Chief Keef doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. That's the paradox. Established legends fight different battles. Sometimes the strongest move is refusing to engage. Other times, it's delivering a reminder of why the throne was earned in the first place. Either way, tension like this shifts attention. Streams increase. Old tracks resurface. Debates reignite about influence, originality, and generational impact. In that sense, even speculation alone changes the energy of the culture. The next few days will be critical. If new music drops, it could redefine alliances and rivalries. If interviews surface, they might reveal whether this was intentional or misinterpreted. And if nothing happens, fans will slowly move on, but the memory of this moment will linger. Because once you enter someone's legacy into the conversation, it sticks. Right now, both names are circulating in the same headline. That alone creates a narrative. Whether that narrative becomes conflict, competition, or collaboration remains to be seen. But one thing is undeniable. Hip-hop thrives on moments where power is questioned. Does this escalate into something unforgettable? Or does it become another example of how fast the internet can turn tension into temporary noise? The culture is watching. The timelines are refreshing. And somewhere behind the scenes, moves are being calculated. Whatever happens next won't just affect two artists. It will shape how this chapter of rap history is remembered. Whatever happens next won't just affect two artists. It will shape how this chapter of rap history is remembered. Because at this point, the tension isn't just about a few words floating through the internet. It's about power, perception, and positioning. When Lul Timm's name began circulating alongside Chief Keef's, that alone created a storyline. And in hip-hop, storylines can become reality if they're fed long enough. Now we're in the final stage, the moment where anticipation either turns into impact or fades into silence. Behind the scenes, you have to imagine conversations are happening. Teams analyzing reactions. managers calculating risks, artists weighing pride against strategy. Because in today's industry, every move is amplified. A diss track isn't just a song anymore. It's content, headlines, reaction clips, streaming spikes, and algorithm boosts. But here's the difference between noise and legacy: execution. If Lul Timm truly intended to challenge the aura surrounding Chief Keef and O-Block, then the next move has to be undeniable, not just aggressive. At the same time, Chief Keef sits in a unique position. Legends don't respond to everything. Sometimes the most powerful statement is continuing to win without acknowledging the challenge. That silence can either frustrate opponents or force them to escalate. And escalation is where things get complicated. Rap beef has historically produced some of the culture's greatest moments. Competitive fire pushes artists to deliver their best. It sharpens creativity. It creates timeless tracks. But it can also blur lines if egos override artistry. That's why fans are both excited and cautious. Excited because competition fuels hip-hop. Cautious because modern beef moves faster than ever. Social media accelerates everything. A lyric becomes a meme. A meme becomes a narrative. A narrative becomes a conflict. Right now, the narrative is still forming. Some believe this is a calculated attempt to step into a bigger spotlight. Others believe it's deeper, something rooted in pride, history, or unresolved tension. Without direct clarification, speculation fills the gap. And speculation can be louder than facts. One post can generate thousands of reactions within minutes. Reaction channels dissect tone and body language. Comment sections turn into battlegrounds of loyalty. Supporters on both sides defend their artist with intensity. But here's the reality. Hip-hop has always been about proving yourself. Every generation challenges the one before it. That friction creates evolution. Chief Keef once represented a disruptive new wave that shook the industry. Now, years later, he represents establishment and influence. That cycle is natural. The question is whether this moment becomes symbolic of that generational shift or simply a brief spark that never fully ignites. If music enters the equation, everything changes. Because once bars are exchanged, there's no ambiguity. Lyrics clarify intent. Diss tracks draw lines clearly. And in that arena, skill becomes the ultimate judge. Fans may debate online, but music speaks louder than commentary. If Lul Timm drops something direct and impactful, the culture will listen. If Chief Keef responds with calculated precision, the tone of the entire situation shifts instantly. But if neither side escalates musically, then this becomes a lesson in modern virality, proof that attention alone can create the illusion of war. There's also something bigger at play here: legacy versus ambition. Legacy is built over years through influence, consistency, and impact. Ambition is fueled by hunger, the drive to rise, to be recognized, to claim space. When those two forces collide, tension is inevitable. For Chief Keef, the throne is symbolic. He doesn't need validation from trending moments. His catalog, influence, and cultural footprint speak for themselves. For Lul Timm, moments like this can redefine trajectory. A single viral chapter can shift perception overnight. But it has to be handled carefully. Because bold moves attract attention, and attention invites scrutiny. The final outcome depends on restraint, timing, and execution. Will pride push someone to respond immediately? Or will patience create a more strategic move? Sometimes waiting increases impact. Sometimes immediate reaction controls the narrative before it spirals. Meanwhile, fans continue refreshing timelines. Every cryptic emoji, every subtle caption, every studio photo posted online becomes a potential hint. The suspense itself becomes entertainment. But beneath the surface, there's an important reminder: hip-hop thrives when competition stays artistic. When battles remain lyrical, they elevate the culture. They produce classic moments. They inspire growth. When things drift beyond music, the risks increase dramatically. That's why the next move matters so much. Because this isn't just about headlines. It's about direction. If this chapter closes quietly, it will serve as a reminder of how fast internet hype can rise and fall. If it escalates musically, it could become one of the defining rap Narratives of the year. Either way, something has already shifted. Both names now exist in the same conversation. Fans have debated influence, respect, and generational power. Streams have likely increased. Attention has been redirected. Energy has been stirred. And sometimes, stirring energy is the entire point. But energy must go somewhere. It either transforms into art or dissipates into memory. Right now, the culture stands at that crossroads. Will this become a lyrical clash remembered for years? Or a brief storm that passed without impact? The final part of any story isn't written by speculation. It's written by action. If Lul Timm intended to make a statement, his next move will define how seriously it's taken. If Chief Keef decides to respond, it will remind everyone why his name carries weight. And if both choose silence, then perhaps this was never about war, just about awareness. One thing is undeniable. Hip-hop never stays quiet for long. Moments like these reveal the heartbeat of the culture, competitive, unpredictable, intense. They remind us that rap is still driven by pride, ambition, and legacy. Now the spotlight remains steady, waiting. Because in the end, it's not the tension that defines history. It's what artists do with it. Now it's your turn. Is this the beginning of a real rap war, or just another viral moment that fades in a week? Did Lul Timm cross a line, or is this exactly what hip-hop needs: fearless competition and bold energy? And if Chief Keef responds, will it shake the culture all over again? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Team Lul Timm or Team Chief Keef? Do you think this turns into diss tracks, or does silence win this round? Because one thing is clear, the culture is watching, and every move from here matters. If you rock with real hip-hop breakdowns, raw analysis, and unfiltered rap news, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now. Don't wait until it's trending everywhere. Stay ahead of the story with us. Turn on notifications so you don't miss updates, surprise responses, or any unexpected drops. If a diss track lands at midnight, we're covering it. If someone goes live and clears the air, we're breaking it down. Share this video with your crew, and let's get the debate started everywhere. Because in hip-hop, moments like this define eras. And trust me, if this escalates, you're going to want to say you saw it here first. Stay locked in. The next move could change everything.